If we look at the issue of concerning restructuring, Mr. Okechukwu, some people will think that the president perhaps is not looking at some of these agitations. He did say that the National Assembly will talk about that issue and the Council of State. Some people have criticized that we've seen the last day or so when the president gave his speech, that may not have settled the agitations calling for restructuring.
Let me start by saying that, like in every democracy, there are different opinions. Mr. President said he wants to rely on those who were elected by the Nigerian people. Even if you want to convoke a constitutional conference, if he handpicks people, the same president will be criticized. If he also undertakes another election, there will also be criticism of the election. So I think basically what he's saying is that the representative of the people should decide on behalf of the people. And for some of us, we also believe that what Mr. President is doing is that he wants to start from the substructure, restructuring. That he met a deficit, fiscal and social infrastructure. The first problem that he encountered was where some states could not pay salaries and the arrears of pensioners for 18 months, 12 months. So far, he had expended over ₦1 trillion on pension and salary arrears through bailout funds and the Paris Club reform. Don't forget that the Paris Club happened about over a decade ago, and the then PDP government did not resolve the issue. Is Mr. President that is undertaking that? And while all this noise exists, is why I appeal to the National Assembly. If the National Assembly, for over 12 months, had approved the basket of loans, Mr. President, because of his integrity quotient, was able to obtain for the country. If there were activities in the coastal rail line, or Lagos to Kano, or East-West Road, where he is to borrow $500 million to conclude the East-West Road that PDP had refused or squandered the funds for. The $1.5 billion he's going to use to upgrade a rail line between Lagos and Kano that PDP government contracted for about $8.3 billion, linking it to the old gauge that runs about 33 kilometers per hour, 100 and something kilometers per hour. He wants to make it a modern rail line. Is it the Mambila hydropower plant? Mr. President had secured a loan of $4.8 billion.
Mr. Okechukwu, if you could easily take on the issue of the agitations of restructuring. The president did say that there is a national consensus. The question is that where was that consensus? If a lot of his critics are asking, where is this consensus exactly? Is it that he's just dispelled the agitations, or how does he think that he's going to tackle those agitations?
Don't forget that Mr. President has national orientation officers across the country. In every local government, he has the DPOs of police force, and the officers and men of the police force. The officers and men of the Department of Security Service. All these reports come to Mr. President's table on a weekly basis. And even on the public domain, I do not know that Igbo man who lives in Guzo or who lives in Mubi that is interested in going home. I do not know that Yoruba man who lives in Jos that is interested in going home. I do not know that Hausa man who lives in Owerri Road in Enugu who is interested in going home. So this is the summation of what they call the national consensus.
All right, let me come back to Mr. Onovo here, and we'll round up the conversation tonight with your thoughts on this. What do you think is a way forward? It doesn't look like there seems to be a way to tackle this issue. The National Assembly, the Council of State, there's been a big question of how will that work? But in the interest of those who are agitating across the country, calling for the confab report, the issue of restructuring, where do we go from here?
We rejected the 2014 confab report before the confab was convoked. And if you want us to rehash that, we rejected it because it was unconstitutional, it was undemocratic. Those people who went to that confab were appointed at the exclusive discretion of the political leadership as at that time. That cannot be democratic. If you look through the Nigerian Constitution, you're not going to see any provision for that national confab. I belong to the National Conscience Party. You know that if we are known for any other thing, it is the rule of law. Everybody, police, military, journalist, politician, everybody must conform to the rule of law. Okay. Simple.
All right. Mr. Martin Onovo, many thanks for your thoughts there. Is the presidential candidate of the NCP, and also Mr. Osita Okechukwu, the Director General of the Voice of Nigeria. Many thanks for your thoughts in coming to the program tonight, everyone. And here is my parting shot, everyone. Senator Shehu Sani said in a post, I quote, "The lion has roared, and the president spoke the mind of Nigerians who cherish our unity, peace, and collective progress." Sticking to the same allegory of lions, Alexander the Great said, he's not afraid of an army of lions led by a sheep, but afraid of an army of sheep led by a lion. Thought-provoking, isn't it? That's our show for tonight. Many thanks for being part of it, everyone. I'm Sean Akimbaloye. Bye for now.